How's it going, guys? My name is 𝗧𝗛𝗡𝗚 and welcome to my channel where we try to bring out the potential of every Pokemon available. Today's focus is on the spatial Pokemon Palkia. Now look, Palkia isn't a super popular choice right now, but when you give it the right tools, it can be a major powerhouse and trample through teams. Terra Steel is great for its Fairy and Dragon weaknesses, and the moves I've given seem to have all the coverage it needs. Let's get started. Okay, so this team's interesting. They've got 𝗕𝗥𝗢𝗡, which stands out. Hisuian Arcanine's awesome. Primarina is an interesting one as well. We don't actually have much for Primarina. I think they do bring that, right? I think we lead off with Metagross. We bring Palkia, of course. And we also bring... I'm leaning towards... Iron Valiant could potentially do some work, but they do have that Scizor. We could also bring Excadrill. It could work. Could work out nicely. But I feel like the best thing to do is bring Iron Valiant. And the battle begins. Good look up front to my opponent. They're going to lead off with the Arcanine. Good lead. We led off with Metagross. So this is not a best lead for us. And we definitely don't want to take a flare that's to the face. That's for sure. Do they predict the Palkia to come in and go for a head smash? Maybe. Do they use... I think they do, actually. I think they're going to predict straight away. I say we knock off. I think we live a flare blitz. We live a flare blitz anyway if not choice banded. Yeah, we live. Nice. Nice. We go for a knockoff, get rid of that item. King's Rock? I mean King's Rock. So now, because we didn't switch Metagross out in the first place, they might think we haven't brought Palkia. So I'm going to go Palkia now. So I'll withdraw Metagross. We can definitely take a Flare Blitz from this thing with Palkia. And in their head, they still get the chip damage off, you know? So Palkia comes in, exerts some pressure. They go for another Flare Blitz, that's fine. That's going to do no damage because we are quad resistant. And now we just go for a Spatial Rend, right? Or do we do... No, they must bring the Primarina because Primarina... Yeah, I think we go for a Thunderbolt to take this thing out. They withdraw, so they have brought Primarina. Or they might go Scizor. Yeah, they bring Primarina and that's fine. Choice Specs Thunderbolt should... Unless they're Assault Vest, we should be good to go. Oh, yes. They are not Assault Vest. We go for another Thunderbolt there. We take out this Primarina. And unless they've brought Donphan, Palkia is putting in the work right now. Like an absolute legend that it is. 𝗕𝗥𝗢𝗡 comes in. That's fine. They probably realize we're Choice Specs. I'm expecting a Dragon Dance right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into Metagross hard. And if they do KO us with Scale Shot, we just go Valiant and then we Terra. No, not Terra. We go Valiant and we get the booster. So we will still outspeed the 𝗕𝗥𝗢𝗡. They do Terra though, which is unfortunately... Well, that's good for us actually. It means there's no surprise Terra on the Iron Valiant. Well, they're going to Terra into a Ground type. Interesting. So, Ground type 𝗕𝗥𝗢𝗡 is very interesting. Very interesting, that's for sure. Dragon Dance, yep, but that's what we expected. That's to be expected. Yes, indeedy. So now we just need to get damage off on this thing. So they won't go for another Dragon Dance here. We go for a Bullet Punch. Because we could easily go for something to take them on. We got to get damage off on this thing anyway for the Iron Valiant. So there's the damage. There's the Crunch. So they'll have Crunch, Dragon Claw, and Earthquake probably. Or Scale Shot, maybe. We have to go Iron Valiant here. Question is though, which one's better? Is it the Close Combat or Moonblast? Or Grass Knot could be better as well. We could also Terra Steel with the Palkia, to be fair. Let's bring Valiant in. And if Valiant fails here, it's not the end of the world. We can just Spatial Rend our way to victory. Because we beat the Primarina. They've got Arcanine left. So I think we win. Here. Let's go for a Moonblast. Let's see if it'll KO. They barely hanged on. No, that's not fair. Earthquake comes through. That's going to KO us in one shot. If we live, I'll be surprised. No, we don't live that. Oh, that's so annoying. I was literally hovering over the Terra button as well because we're Terra Fairy. But I was like, nah, it'll KO. I must have got a really low roll or something. I don't know. Anyway, we'll go Palkia now. And Palkia, they've got to go for a Dragon type move. They've got to go for a Dragon type move here. Otherwise we lose. We go for a Terra Steel Spatial Rend. That's the way to go forward. So we Terrestrialize into a Steel type right now. Please do not predict this and go for an Earthquake. Please go for a Dragon Claw. Please go for a Dragon Claw. I need you to go for a Dragon Claw. I need it. I really need it to go for a Dragon Claw right now. They do go for the Dragon Claw, which is great. It's going to do a nice chunk of damage to us, but not enough to get the KO. As we go for a Spatial Rend, just to see the animation, because it's a cool animation. Boom. That's a really cool animation for Scarlet and Violet anyway. Haxorus comes through and goes down. And then we just got Arcanine, which is fantastic. So Palkia has put in the work. Once again, took out the Primarina, took out the Haxorus, and it's about to take out the Arcanine, which is fantastic. In hindsight, should have gone for a Thunderbolt instead of a Spatial Rend because we could miss right now. But I'm going to bank on us not missing right now. Spatial Rend does not miss, which is great. And that's a nice little video for Palkia, which is great. So GG to my opponent. That was a fun one. I did enjoy that. Okay, so we know what they're going to do. They're going to lead with Kyogre. We lead with Palkia to stop that. Looking at the rest of the squad, I'd say Wo-Chien puts in some nice work as well. And I think Metagross could be really good. Or Iron Valiant. No, Iron Valiant not so much. Iron Valiant maybe because the Archaludon. Could bring Excadrill for that, but that's literally all it'd be there for. I think Valiant might be a good answer. Give us a Fairy type, but Metagross at the same time. Tough one. It's a real tough one. That Archaludon's going to definitely come. So I think Valiant is the answer, so I'm going to go for Valiant. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun. Nice hair. Nice hair. They do lead with Kyogre, which is to be expected. Now, they don't have a ground type on the team, so we can freely go for a T-Bolt here, and it should KO the Kyogre. We do outspeed them, of course, because that's why our pressure went before the Drizzle, which is good to know. And now we go for a Thunderbolt. If they Terra, they Terra. If they don't, they don't. It's whatever. Thunderbolt comes through. Should KO the Kyogre. Doesn't quite get the KO on the Kyogre. As they go for a Thunder, which is definitely going to sting. But it doesn't get the KO, which is nice. We go for another Thunderbolt every single time here. And we should be golden. They withdraw the Kyogre. What can they bring in other than Archaludon? Ludicolo? I mean, whatever floats your boat. I'm not going to underestimate the Ludicolo, though. Never underestimate anything that's lower tier because they can surprise you. But this Ludicolo, on the other hand, what's he going to do here? A Grass-type move, maybe? Potentially. Should we Terra? If we Terra, we get hit by the Water-type move, though. Not got a lot of options here. I say we go for a Thunderbolt again. They go for a Giga Drain. That's fine. It's going to recover some of their health. Absolutely fine by me. Because it means I can go for a Thunderbolt now. And they are losing the HP from the Life Orb, which is good. Thunderbolt comes through. That's a dead Ludicolo. Nice. So, that's because of the Life Orb as well. They would have lived that if it weren't for the Life Orb. But they wouldn't have done as much damage if it wasn't for the Life Orb as well. So, you know what? So whatever. Basculegion. That is a tough one. That is a very tough one to bring in right now. So, I'm going to bring in Wo-Chien. Because, A, they're either going to go for a Wave Crash or a Last Respects. Probably a Wave Crash, right? Palkia could be really useful for that Kyogre still. You know what I don't think is too useful? Iron Valiant, now that we know what they've got. I'd rather sack off Iron Valiant then go into Wo-Chien. Because Wo-Chien can finish off the Kyogre as well with a Giga Drain. So we'll go into Iron Valiant, we'll sack it off. Wo-Chien might be the way to go. Might be the way to go. We have booster energy, of course, in speed. Which is going to be great. They go for a flip turn. Which nearly KOs us. So that's definitely choice banded. And they're going to go into Kyogre, which we know isn't scarfed or anything like that. So that's good. Kyogre comes in. It looks like Valiant's going to get a KO, which is great. We go for a Moonblast because we don't want them to risk him going for a move that's like makes them resistant to grass, like Terra Grass. That's what I mean, like a Terra that would make them resistant to grass. Kyogre goes down to a Moonblast though, which is fantastic. We're looking pretty good. Basculegion comes back in. I get it. Basculegion's a cool one. So we go for a Moonblast. Moonblast comes through. They aren't Swift Swim, or we just outspeed them actually. We might just outspeed them, to be fair. They go for a Liquidation, that's fine. We know they're banded, so we know we can take another one of them. So we go into Wo-Chien, and this pretty much seals their fate. It pretty much seals their fate. Is it Wo-Chien or Wo-Chien? I don't know how you pronounce it. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing it right, but it's whatever. I'm not really bothered if I'm not. Right, so now We just go for a foul play. And even if they Terra, foul play should definitely get the KO. Liquidation comes through. No, that's not enough damage, I'm afraid. Foul play comes through. Basket Legion goes down. We are looking good right now. GG, that was a fun one. Looks like we got ourselves a Trick Room team, so if we assume they're going to lead with something to set up Trick Room straight away, we should lead with Palkia straight away. Palkia does really well. We should bring Metagross for the Calyrex, because that's definitely come in. And just in case they bring... We'll bring 𝗧𝗛𝗡 for defensive measures, just in case their Gliscor becomes a problem. So that's the squad. Let's do it. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. They're going to lead off with the 𝗧𝗛𝗓 Blood Moon. We lead off with Palkia, so that's not a bad lead for us, to be fair. Not a bad lead at all, because they could go for a Terra Fairy straight off the bat. In which case, I'm tempted to go into Metagross just to see if they do. What would they switch in, though? They haven't got much of a switch into a Spatial Rend or a Hydro Pump, other than a Alomomola. So do we go for a Hydro Pump because it's still Stab? It might miss, though. If they Terra Fairy, we'll want to get Hydro Pump off. Yeah, let's go for Hydro Pump. Hydro Pump goes through. They did not Terra Fairy. They do lose their 𝗧𝗛𝗓. Down it goes. Palkia coming through like a boss. In comes the Cresselia. We know what this thing's going to do right now. Set up a Trick Room. We're going to go straight into 𝗧𝗛𝗡. I think 𝗧𝗛𝗡's the best answer we've got here. But I'm looking at their squad, and I definitely think Calyrex is going to be the problem. Calyrex is going to be a big problem. So we'll go 𝗧𝗛𝗡. We'll get the Tablets of Ruin and all that stuff. They go for that Trick Room. That's going to be nasty for us to deal with. They more than likely hard switch into Calyrex now, if they brought it. So I'm going to go for a knockoff first and foremost. Knockoff comes through. They did not switch out. So we knock off their Citrus Berry, which is great. They go for a Luna Dance. Is that the one where they KO themselves? It is. So that's an interesting one. So they're probably going to bring Calyrex in now, which is terrifying. Yeah, that's going to be the Calyrex, right? Gotta be. Yes, it is. So here's the tech that we do here. Because Trick Room's up, but only for a few more turns. We Terra Ghost to take the hit. We go for a foul play. And we take this Calyrex out in one shot. Right, so then we Terra. We Terra'd first, which means they have not Terra'd. Because they're under Trick Room, they will be faster. So we Terra Ghost so that we can take a Glacial Lance to the face. Potentially. That's what I'm going for anyway. Curse. That's fine. Go for your Curse. Lowers the speed, boosts their attack and defense. That's fine. We go for a foul play here. And that should do a lot of damage. Oh! Critical hit. One clean hit. 𝗧𝗛𝗡 coming through. What an absolute beast. Not going to be a 𝗧𝗛𝗡 video, but it's definitely going in one of the videos. Ooh, an Eternatus. I've not seen one of them yet. That's pretty cool. I think Metagross is definitely going to put in some work this game. Gotta bring Palkia because Palkia does really well. The Chien-Pao is a problem. I'm thinking Valiant might be good here. No, I'm not gonna lead it. I might lead with Palkia, go with Metagross, and then Iron Valiant. I think that's the way to go. And the battle begins. Good luck, have fun to my opponent. They're gonna lead off with the Rillaboom, as I led off with Palkia. So this is not a bad lead for us. Not the best lead in the world, but it's not a bad lead either. So if they assume we're going to go for a Spatial Rend, what are they going to do? Are they going to go into no, are they going to go into the... They can't switch anything in, pretty much, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go for a Spatial Rend. I think it'll do a lot of damage. I don't want to go for the Fire Blast just in case they Terra, or switch out, they actually switch out into like Eternatus or something to take a Fire Blast, because they might predict the Fire move. Spatial Rend comes through. True Specs, should do a lot of damage. Doesn't get the KO, so they're probably Assault Vest. They go for a Drum Beating, that's fine. What's that do again? A lot of damage, that's what it does. Lowers our speed. Interesting, so if it lowers our speed, that means this next turn they're probably going to go for a Grassy, a Wood Hammer or something. So I'm leaning towards the Metagross or the Iron Valiant. Valiant is going to be useful for that Dozo though, if they bring it. If they bring it. That's the problem. The big if. And Drum Beating did over half to us, so we can't stay in. I think we go Metagross. I think Valiant's way more important in this game than Metagross is. Plus, they probably go for another drum beating anyway to lower our speed, and you can't lower Metagross's speed if it's got a clear body. Not that they matter because they still outspeed us, but still. They go for another drum beating, that's fine. Pop hits us with its little grass tentacles. And they get some health restored, which is unfortunate. So now, my best bet is to go for a Meteor Mash, I'm saying now. U-turn is fine. What are they going to go into? Are they going to go into their own Ditto, maybe? Ditto to copy on Metagross, see what we've got. Something needs to take this attack, though, and I don't think it's going to be anything good. They bring in whatever that is, which is going to be the Dondozo. So they bring Dozo and Rillaboom, and they've got to have brought Eternatus. So we go for the Meteor Mash. It does no damage, obviously. It doesn't raise our attack, not that it matters because this thing has Unaware. And now I'm thinking Valiant. I'm really thinking Valiant. Valiant could be really good here. Or we go Palkia again. I think I go Palkia again. I think I'm going to hard into Palkia. Just because I know I can definitely take a hit. A Wave Crash anyway. Maybe not an Earthquake. They won't go for an Earthquake though. I think they would have Wave Crash. Maybe. I don't know. I don't see Dozo much. They withdraw. Okay. And they go into what? What have they brought now? Is this Eternatus? It is Eternatus. So exert some pressure. All that wonderful stuff. We know they're probably going to go for a Dynamax Cannon or a Terra here. So I'm half tempted to go for a Terra Steel. I don't think we need Terra on anything else. So I'm going to go for that Terra Steel Spatial Rend. I think that's fine. We do go first. I'm pretty sure Eternatus outspeeds Palkia, so they can't have Terra'd. But they would probably go for a Dynamax Cannon or even a Sludge Bomb. Sludge Wave, sorry. I don't think they would go for a Flamethrower in the face of a Palkia. I don't think they would. Unless they're really ballsy. Yeah, Dynamax Cannon, that's it. There we go. So that's going to come through. It's not going to take us out, right? No, it doesn't, which is great. We don't miss a Spatial Rend, do we? No, we don't, which is great. And that means that is a dead Eternatus, which is fantastic. Palkia coming through. I don't care if Eternatus has like the highest base stat total of any legendary Pokemon or whatever the deal is with it. It's not beating Palkia. I'm telling you now. In comes this thing, which is going to be the Rillaboom. Dondozo. Okay. Really curious to see how much a Spatial Rend does right now. Let's go for it. Let's go for the Choice Spec Spatial Rend. Let's see how much damage it does to a Dozo. Oh, that's some damage, that is. That's some nice damage. They go for a Wave Crash. That means they're going to go down to the Recoil. Awesome. So Palkia goes down. But it took an Eternatus and a Dondozo with it because Dozo's going to go down to the Recoil right now, right? It lived? It lived? How rude. How rude of it to live that. It's alright, Valiant's in the back, so we're fine. We go into Iron Valiant right now. Boom. And we just hit it with a Grass Knot just to show that we've got it. That's all I need to do, is just show that we've got it. I've got the Grass Knot for like, because the heavy legendaries like Groudon and stuff. Grass Knot does a lot of damage to them. So the battle was cancelled, they forfeited. Ooh, Palkia came through.